Hi everybody, it's Miss Kim.
Miss Laura again.
We're here to read stories. We hope everyone had a really nice Mother's Day over the weekend. I did. Did you have a nice Mother's Day?
Yes, actually it did. It was nice. We went and saw my mom.
That's
and then
good.
my mother-in-law. And then I got stuff. So it was fun.
I'm not a mom, but I did get to see my mom, and I got her some flowers, and she loves flowers.
You're a cat mom.
That's right, I am a cat mom.
She's got
That
two cats.
counts. That counts.
I only have one cat, but I got 2 dogs, so either way, I'm a mom to a lot of things. Anyway, what are we reading this week?
We are reading a couple of stories about moms, actually. We're reading Close Your Eyes.
And I'm reading Katy No Pockets. It's an oldie but a goodie.
Yes, they're
like
both
that
really
one.
good, sweet
Yeah.
books. So we hope you enjoy them. Bye. Close Your Eyes by Kate Banks. The little tiger lay on his back in the tall grass. Close your eyes, little tiger, said his mother, and go to sleep. But the little tiger didn't want to sleep. If I close my eyes, he said, I can't see the sky. Yes, you can, said his mother, gently nudging him. You can even float among the clouds, and when night comes, the moon will hold you in its lap. The little tiger rolled onto his belly and listened to the leaves quiver overhead. If I close my eyes, I can't see the tree, he said. But you can, said his mother. You can see many trees where you can play hide and seek until the night finds you and brings you home. But I can't see the bird with the blue feathers, said the little tiger. If you close your eyes, you can see all kinds of birds with different feathers, said his mother. Maybe you can even fly. The little tiger stretched his paws. But what if I fall? He asked. I will be there to catch you, said his mother. And what if I get lost? Said the little tiger. Then I will find you, said his mother, so close your eyes. The little tiger closed his eyes. It's dark, he said. Dark like your stripes, said his mother. I'm scared, said the little tiger. Don't be scared, said his mother. Dark is just the other side of light. It's what comes before dreams. Can I dream of the big mountains where the rain lives? Asked the little tiger. Yes, said his mother, and maybe you can dream of the desert where there is no rain. Or the ocean, which is as big as the blue sky. And when I open my eyes, will the dreams be gone? Asked the little tiger. Yes, said his mother, nestling up close to him, but I will be here, so close your eyes, little tiger. The end.
Katy No Pockets by Emmy Payne. Big tears rolled down Katy Kangaroo's brown face. Poor Katy was crying because she didn't have a pocket like other mother kangaroos. Freddie was Katy Kangaroo's little boy, and he needed a pocket to ride in. All grown-up kangaroos take awfully big hops, and little kangaroos like Freddie get left behind unless their mothers have a nice pocket to carry them in. And poor Katy didn't have any pocket at all. Katy Kangaroo cried just thinking about it, and Freddie cried too. Then all of a sudden, Katy had a wonderful idea. It was so wonderful she jumped 6 feet up in the air. The idea was this. Other animal mothers had children and they didn't have any pockets. She'd go and ask one of them how they carried their babies. Freddie looked around to see whom to ask, and Katy looked all around to see too. And what they saw were 2 bubbles rising up from the river right beside them. Mrs. Crocodile, said Katy, feeling lots better already. She hasn't any pockets. Let's ask her. A lot of big muddy bubbles came up through the water. And then Mrs. Crocodile stuck her head up and opened her enormous mouth and smiled. Why, Katy Kangaroo, what can I do for you today? Please, Mrs. Crocodile, I am so sad, said Katy. I have no pocket, and Freddie has to walk wherever we go, and he gets so tired. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Then she started to cry again. The crocodile began to cry, too, and then she said, But what can I do? You can tell me how to carry Freddie, said Katy. How do you carry little Catherine Crocodile? Oh, do please tell me. Why, I carry her on my back, of course, said Mrs. Crocodile. She was so surprised that anyone shouldn't know that she forgot to cry anymore. Katy was pleased. She said, Thank you, and as soon as she got to a good squatting down place, she squatted and said, Now, Freddie, climb on my back. After this, it will be so simple, no trouble at all. But it wasn't simple. In the first place, Freddie could not crawl up onto her back because his knees were stuck out. He couldn't hang on because his front legs were too short. And when he did manage to hang on for a few minutes and Katy gave a long hop, he fell off, bump, bang, with a terrific thump. So Katy saw that she couldn't carry her baby on her back. Katy and Freddie sat down again and thought. I know, I'll ask Mrs. Monkey. I'm sure she can help me. So Katy and Freddie set off for the forest, and very soon they found Mrs. Monkey. She had her young son Jocko with her, and Katy Kangaroo hurried so she could catch up with them, that she was almost out of breath. But finally she managed to squeak, Please, Mrs. Monkey, how do you carry Jocko? In my arms, of course, said Mrs. Monkey. How else would any sensible animal carry anything? And she whisked away through the trees. Oh, dear, said Katy, and a great big tear ran across her long nose. I can't carry anything in these short little arms. Oh, dear. She wasn't any help at all. What are we going to do? And she just sat down and cried harder than ever. Poor Freddie. He hated to see his mother cry, so he put his paw on his head and he thought. What about the lion? He asked when Katy stopped crying a little. They don't carry their children. The poor things have to walk just like you do, said Katy. There's birds, said Freddie. How do they carry their babies? Birds, said Katy. The mother bird pushes their children out of the nest and they squawk and shriek and flap their wings about it. Then all at once Katy Kangaroo stopped crying and looked at Freddie. They do say that the owl knows almost everything, she said slowly. Well, then for goodness sake, let's ask him, said Freddie. They found the owl asleep in an old dead tree. And he was cross because he didn't want to be waked up in the middle of the day. But when he saw that Katy was so sad, he came out, blinking and ruffling his feathers, and said in a scratchy voice, Well, well, what is this? Speak up and speak loudly, I'm deaf as a post. So Katy stood under the tree and screamed at him, I'm a mother kangaroo, and I haven't a pocket to carry my child in. How shall I carry him? What shall I do? Get a pocket, said the owl, and went to sleep again. Where? Cried Katy. Oh, please don't go to sleep before you can tell me where. How should I know, said the owl. They sell that kind of thing in the city, I believe. Now kindly go away and let me sleep. The city, said Katy, and looked at Freddie with big round eyes. Of course, we'll go to the city. Katy was so excited that she almost left Freddie behind as she went leaping over bushes and hopping along the path, singing in a sort of hummy way a little song she had just made up. Hippity-hoppity, flippity-floppity, wasn't it a pity? I didn't know if I was to go to the city. She hopped so fast that Freddie could hardly keep up, but at last they left the woods behind and came to the city, where there were stores and houses and automobiles. The people all stared and stared at Katy, but she didn't notice it. She was looking for pockets, and she saw that almost everybody had them. And then all at once she could hardly believe it, a man who seemed to be all pockets. He was simply covered with pockets, big pockets and little pockets and medium-sized pockets. Katy went up to him and laid a paw on his arm. He was a little frightened, but Katy looked at him with her soft brown eyes and said, Please, dear, kind man, where did you get all those pockets? These pockets, he said. You want to know where I got all these pockets? Why, they just came with the apron, of course. You mean you can really get something to put on with all those pockets already in it? Asked Katy. Sure you can, said the man. I keep my hammer and nails and tools in my pockets, but I can get another apron, so I'll just give you mine. He took off his apron and dumped it upside down. Out fell a saw and wrenches, nails and a hammer and a drill and lots of other tools. Then the man shook the apron hard and turned it right side up again and hung it around Katy's neck and tied it behind her back. Katy was so pleased and excited and happy that she couldn't speak. She just stood still and looked down at the pockets and smiled and smiled and smiled. By that time, a big crowd had gathered to see what Katy Kangaroo was doing. When they saw how pleased she was, they all smiled too. At last, Katy was able to say thank you to the nice, kind man. And then, what do you think she did? She popped Freddie in the very comfortable pocket and she said, hippity-hoppity, home faster than ever before, because, of course, she didn't have to wait for Freddie. And when she got home, what do you think she did? Well, she had so many pockets that she put Freddie into the biggest one of all. Then into the next largest, she put little Leonard Lion. Thomas Tortoise just fit into another pocket. Sometimes she had a baby bird if its mother was busy on a worm hunt. And there was still room for a monkey, a skunk, a rabbit, a raccoon, a lizard, a squirrel, a possum, a turtle, a frog, and a snail. So now all the animals like Katy's pockets better than any other pockets in the whole forest. And Katy Kangaroo was very happy because now she had more pockets than any mother kangaroo in the world. The end.